Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
Hey, that doesn't look like the Vintage Computer Festival, Southeast 9.0.
Yes, you are correct. It is not. Which is not even my normal spot for doing the podcast because I can't walk up the stairs right now. I don't know what I did to my knee on Friday. I don't know. I've got arthritis. I don't know if it flared up. I don't know if it was the yard work I did. But by Friday night, I couldn't bend my leg, and my knee was swollen up. So going to an event that's 90% walking around looking at stuff, not a great idea, even if I could have gotten in the car. So yeah, here I am in my living room. This is my little computer corner that I have here. And so if you see any cats, yeah, that's you're not seeing things. I have cats.
And turtles.
And turtles, yes.
A turtle.
I have a turtle. I've had Shelby since the late 80s. I don't know if, yeah, she's back there somewhere. Yes.
Shelby is retro.
Yes, she is retro.
This is exciting because we get to see another part of your house, and there's a lot of, I guess those are books, or are they video CDs?
No,
I don't know. They look very uniform in size. I couldn't tell.
Well, a lot of paperbacks are, you know, kind of standard size. It's part of our sci-fi fantasy collection. I don't know if you can see. There we go.
Oh my goodness.
Kind of more.
Sometimes when you collect something, it turns out you collect other things.
Well, but the thing with books though is, you know, I know some people read a book once and that's it. We like to reread books. I mean, if it's a book we really enjoyed, you know, that's
people rewatch movies.
Exactly.
Listen to the same song over and over again.
So anyway,
here we are.
Sitting on the other side of my monitor here is a bin of stuff I was planning to take to the Vintage Computer Festival. Sorry to Earl. I had a bunch of Apple IIe parts that were going to go to him. Hopefully I'll be able to drop them off to him at DragonCon this year. I am using some of the stuff that I was going to use for the event. I've got this nice little lapel mic. Hopefully it sounds pretty good.
It does.
And so yeah, I had that. I bought a really nice steady cam for the iPhone that I will hopefully get to use also in the future. Yeah, I'm really bummed about this. I am really this is the, you know, twice we've had to cancel stuff when we got COVID. Now we had to cancel this. So
oh well.
Getting old.
Happens.
Yep.
There'll be more. There'll be another time.
It'll just be more retro next year. So
exactly. It'll be even
just
better.
Gets more and more retro.
Yeah. Even better will it be? Okay. Well, hey, let's start the podcast for real. You have to give an abbreviated version. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 619 for July 17th, 2022. Good morning, John.
Good morning, James. And if you don't hear a retro computer fair happening in the background, it's because I am not there.
Couldn't make the trip.
So I am. We are just doing a regular podcast, and hope everything goes good for me getting there next year. So
should have plenty of time to heal your ailing knee.
One would hope.
But at least you hurt your knee
it
was in the line. It was in service because it was.
Yes,
like
yeah. And part of it may have been I had to go up to my attic about 4 or 5 times to get stuff. So going up and down the ladder and then doing yard work on Friday, I think I just overdid it. So, yep.
Wow. Okay, well, that's too bad. So we're going to have to improvise this week, dig into the time capsule. This time we're going to go to Macworld magazine, July 1992. So we've got that. We got Lots of eBay finds. We've got some news, including a story that I didn't know if John was familiar with. Did you look at it yet? Did you see it? Had you seen that before? I don't know. We'll find out later, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, why don't we come back and we'll do some eBay finds. All right.
All right. Hang on here.
Whenever you're ready.
Hang on. I'm just trying to find the proper window. I'm not on my giant 30-inch monitor that I normally get to do. Okay.
All right. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. It's time now for eBay finds. Last week there was a lot. That is a lot. I don't know how else to say that without saying. Anyway, a bunch of logic boards. And this listing has ended. Did it sell? They wanted $399.99. It just says the listing has ended. I guess it just timed out.
Huh.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Never mind. Sold.
It's sold. Oh,
$399.99. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then there was this color classic. It had been upgraded with a color classic to be essentially a color classic 2, an upgraded motherboard. But listed as a color classic 2, it's not. It's kind of not technically correct. It's not originally a color classic 2.
Right.
This one said the listing was ended because the item is no longer available. Okay.
Hopefully that means they sold it locally and they're not having to worry about shipping the box of brittle plastic. So yeah.
And the Macintosh TV in they say great cosmetic condition. I might question that.
By what definition? Right.
Pretty okay cosmetic condition. Not working, parts will repair. This one was ended by the seller because it's no longer available. So that's I hate that when that happens. It just leaves me sort of like,
we need to
like,
know
what happened. Yes, I must know.
Inquiring minds.
Okay, well, maybe we'll have better luck this week. This is one that, gosh, I had to buy it now, and it was reasonable. I would have bought it then, as soon as I saw this. The title says, Vintage Apple Collectible Apple Macintosh Mac logo black large polo shirt. The title doesn't give it justice because it's not. When you say Mac logo, it's like, what does that mean? Well, what they meant to say is the Picasso logo.
Embroidered Picasso logo.
And this isn't from the pictures. It does not. This looks like legit original Macintosh release era embroidered Picasso logo polo shirt in my size. So that's why I was like, oh, love to have this. It is a legit auction. They're starting it at $74.99. It ends in 6 days. So it's a black shirt. You can see there close up there how nicely done the stitching is. And you can tell it's old. And they even had an original plastic, which I guess that it was never worn. What does the description say? Does it say anything?
And it's cotton too. It's not a weird, rayon
right.
Like
so and you can see the tag has got this. It's got an old look tag about it. It's 100% combed cotton. But there's a story behind it. It says, I was cleaning out the storage shed and found a bunch of vintage Mac and PC stuff, software and hardware. I guess this is software. Some 10 years old, some older, some new in the box I never opened, others used or collectible. Most of the stuff sold in its day for more than $30, maybe in the 40 to okay, a lot of detail here. Let's see. Doesn't say anything. Just says this is from lots of Apple and Mac stuff for sale in this personal collection.
I'm looking at the stuff they're selling right now. So
yeah.
Yeah.
The seller says, I did take the shirt out of the bag for a few photos, but otherwise it has been in the same bag and storage since it came from Apple. It's large, made in the USA by Vantage Custom Classics, and has 100% combed cotton. Yes. Do you comb your cotton?
Well,
Yeah.
otherwise
Go
it's
with it.
very unkempt. All
Yeah.
right, so hey guys, I
I
have
use
to
a
say,
brush.
if you get a
Never been
chance,
used.
check it. If you're looking for other just kind of weird, odd cables or whatever, this guy does or gal does have a lot of stuff for sale, and it's very reasonable. Just like weird old cables, like serial cables and mouse pads and stuff like that. So
Marks
yeah, this person
Emporium.
does very nice.
Mhm. Yeah. So this shirt, $75 starting bid. If that was a buy it now, I probably would have snapped it up. And I'd be
Well,
wearing it
keep an eye on it.
for the show
You
next
never
week.
know.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could throw a bin in it. $20 shipping. Urgh,
Whoa, that's an awful lot.
right up there. I'll just get the action going. How about that?
There you go. All right,
I know it's gonna
go higher. Yeah.
go higher. It's gonna go higher. Maybe not. One of the people in the chat probably just gonna take it from me right
Snipe
now.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's going. I got it going. All right. Next item is this.
Next item. Yes, we have a Apple Macintosh hard drive. And so it's an HD20, but it's been converted
Yeah,
to a
that's what's
SCSI.
interesting about this.
Yeah, that is the interesting thing. And so at first I was like, why would you do that? There are plenty out there. But no, this was something back in the day that was available. And it makes sense because, all right, so, the original HD20 cost over $1,000. The SCSI, the SCSI version, 20 still a 20 meg hard drive, was $1,299. So if you had this thing already and you wanted to be able to use it with a SCSI, if you could get an upgrade card for a couple $100, definitely worth it. So, and what's nice about this, you've got that enclosure. It's still the great enclosure. One thing I had a question on is, so they even have the SCSI pass through on the back, but I don't. The disadvantage I see on this is I don't see any convenient way of changing the SCSI ID. I don't see where they've got any sort of dip switch settings or anything like that. So I guess your whatever it is going to be kind of hardwired in. Not that there are a ton of SCSI stuff that you'd be like hooking up to a plus. I'm sure you're not going to run out of numbers. Almost everything else you have would have something that you could reset the SCSI ID on.
Yeah.
Now the price on this is buy it now, $250. There is a make an offer. I don't know how much these go otherwise nowadays. I've got a couple of these actual SCSI versions as well as the regular HD20, and it's amazing those Rodime hard drives that are in these just keep going. They didn't develop a lot of issues that the later hard drives had with things inside getting gummy and stuff like that. These things are beasts, and they are they are loud. You can hear these puppies spinning up. So yeah, $250. I guess that's reasonable. I don't know if anyone wants to chime in.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
reasonable. Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yellowing looks to be minimal.
Yeah.
These-
So there's a nice picture of the inside too with the upgrade
Mhm.
card, and yeah, it's definitely professionally. It was definitely designed for this. It's not.
Well, that's
some
what I'm
sort
wondering.
of,
I'm looking. There's some
hack.
dip switches here. I wonder if that's an ID setting.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you just have to pop the top of. Yep. That is definitely going to be your ID, SCSI ID right there.
Yeah. Well, neat. Yeah, I never knew that somebody had.
Oh, okay. So the
Made
boards
option
were
for
made
this.
by
Mhm.
personal computer peripherals, which I have definitely heard of before. So
Yeah.
all right,
All
nice.
right. Okay, and we'll conclude with this. It's a collection of stuff. Let's see. Let me pull up the description here. It is, well, it just says classic Macintosh computers, peripheral software, books, and more. And the first picture here just shows kind of looks like somebody's basement with some shelving and a bunch of stuff stacked in there. There's a complete detailed list. There are a number of computers. There's a Mac SE that is working. Another SE for parts of repair, a 6100, two 6100s actually. One of them working, one for parts. A 7100 working, a 6400 working, a 6500 working, a PowerBook Core 2 Duo in need of parts or repair, and a Dell Dimension E510 that is working. Thank goodness for that. And monitors, a handful
Several
of monitors,
yeah.
keyboards, bunch of modems, some miscellaneous drives, and printers. Though the printers I thought was the coolest
Oh
part
my
because there's a
gosh!
bunch of
Wow.
old laser writers. Well, there's a picture of the SE working. That's a nice, clean-looking SE and keyboard and 6100.
I noticed that all the Apple
computers are in good shape.
laser writers are all parts of repair.
They are. Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking at these.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of pictures of the working computers working, and they're in clean. Now look at the. So you're saying that this Laser Writer Plus is for parts of repair? It could be. I wonder if they just couldn't test it.
I love the Plus. That is.
But look at how
that
clean that thing
favorite
is.
of them. Yeah, yeah. I love it's big and clunky, but for some
beautiful.
reason I just love it. Yeah.
Yeah. The
I
lines
miss mine.
of it.
I used to have one at one point. Yeah.
Boy, yeah, that looks great. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow! Did you see all the box software they've got?
A lot of box software.
A lot of Illustrator, Photoshop.
Yeah.
A lot of Adobe stuff. Wow.
Interesting. Looks like it was well cared for. The users, it's probably all their personal computers over the years. I just decided it's just time to get rid of it all. Well, the buy it now is $1,500. And if you add it all up, take into account the condition or whatever, I guess you could kind of get to that number.
But only if you're going to pick it up from Muncie, Indiana.
Yeah. Right. There's no
there's
way
also make an offer.
It.
Okay.
There's a make an offer. Yeah, Muncie, Indiana. So if you're anywhere near that, I bet. Let's see. This I don't know how long this has been up, but yeah, you might be able to get a good deal on this. Well, we'll see if it's still available next week. Yeah. All right.
Excuse me.
Oh, Gesundheit. We're gonna move along. Let's see. Pull up the right window here, and aha. Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. We're turning now we're going to the time capsule. We're going to look back at July 1992 in Macworld Magazine. Got this issue from archive.org. You get all the issues there. On the cover this month, Quadra 950, Apple's most powerful computer. Look at that. Isn't that glorious? Look at how giant tower there with the color monitor. Very, very nice. But before we get to the feature article, we want to look at some other things in the issue. I wanted to look at this. This is an Applied Engineering ad, and they were well known for making accessories, peripherals.
Oh yeah,
upgrades.
Yeah.
This
if
is
you were
a
an Apple
multi-fold
2GS fan, they made a ton of stuff for the 2GS that was just drool worthy. Yeah.
And they have this big ad in here on page 10. Think of us as an ice cream store for the Mac, introducing 5 new choices at prices that are hard to lick. Like, my gosh, this is what was considered like good pricing back then. I remember seeing these ads, and the prices were just scary.
Oh yeah.
So let's look at some of this stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Let's just look at one of these cards. So there's a floppy drive and a couple. Here's the Transwarp CI. blast your 2CI past 2FX speeds with a transwarp CI board. Combination of an ultra-fast 50 megahertz 68030 processor. So remember what a 2FX costs, though. So if you want to take a 2CI and outperform an FX, and an FX cost, what an FX cost?
What
Was it close to
$8,000?
Something like that? It was ridiculous. And a CI.
Yeah.
So if you did the math, I mean, this was, I guess, a bargain when you considered everything. But back then, to get a 2CI to 2FX speeds, you have to spend $1,999 on this transwarp CI card, which in today's dollars is like $4,200. It's like the amount of money that people had to spend on computers back then just to make these little performance boosts was just crazy. There's your floppy drive for $449. It's like $1,000 today. What other good stuff were they selling here? Look at this card. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Spending
040.
Over $5,000 for an upgrade card for your computer. Oh well. Different times. Okay, let's look at this lady right here. She's demonstrating like the pinnacle of ergonomics here. The folks at WordPerfect know how to use a computer.
Yeah,
there were a lot of ads.
Similar to a 2CI.
Yeah,
right.
Speaking of 2CIs, there's one there.
Yep.
A lot of ads back then when computers are still relatively new. They try to integrate them into people's lifestyles, and so they would. It seemed like they would take like other photos of people doing other stuff and just stick a computer in there.
Yeah. It looks like she's either getting ready to do yoga or has just finished doing yoga, and now needs to check her email. So she's got her computer on the floor with her. Yes.
Yeah, it looks like she's calling tech support to ask
why her back hurts.
Yeah, right. Why her back hurts and she can't really see the monitor and reach the keyboard. It's like, ma'am,
that's what the yoga's for, to make her more flexible so she can actually.
Right. Oh, so funny. Okay. Look at this ad. We all know who this guy is.
Oh yeah.
All right, here's a PowerBook ad.
Look at him. Look at Woz.
Featuring Wozniak, a young dapper Wozniak in a suit and tie, no less. An ad for the PowerBook that does not mention Woz. And it's so funny because there's an ad and it's got all these quotes in the ad from Time, one of the best design products of the year, from Fortune, one of the best products of the year, from InfoWorld, hardware product of the year. And I thought, oh, maybe that'd be cute if they had like a silly quote by Woz after that. But no. Mm-hmm. It just says power to be your best, and PowerBook. The new PowerBook.
Can you zoom in?
170.
Can you zoom in on what's on his laptop screen?
Enhance. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's an article. It looks like something written about the Apple II or something. That's not even a 2. What is that
it does. It's either.
It's got this weird
box on top. Yeah.
Yeah. What is that?
But it looks kind of Apple II-ish. Maybe it's a clone. I don't know.
Do you think my iPhone could decipher that text right there? But it says, look at it says when I designed the Apple II, right?
Oh wow, you can kind of read it. Look at you.
Yeah.
Man.
When I designed the Apple II, anybody else can go after that. It's gonna make my head hurt, but yeah, at least get that much out of that. Well, I guess if you had the print ad, you go back and
perhaps.
Unfortunately, I recycled all my Macworlds because I thought, what do I need these if they're online? Well, this is the time that I need it because I'm sure this just wasn't scanned at a resolution high enough. But I bet you the original one, you could read that article, which would have been awesome. And then you could read and his little friend here, whoever that is.
Looks like he's got a game of some sort.
Is that Elon Musk? Who is that? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, fun little ad. Okay, let's skip along to page 101. lab notes. What did you want to talk about here?
Just
you want to
so
talk about this
this is
ad,
a
actually.
whole thing on different OCR programs and
Yeah.
multi-$100 programs. And it's just one of those things that we take for granted now, that we could take a picture of something with our phone, with our iPhone, and it automatically OCRs the stuff that's on the page or on the sign or whatever. And
Mhm.
it's just one of those. I thought that was kind of interesting that you've got that. So you've got that about the OCR, but then you also have this ad for monitors off to the side.
Mhm.
Um, and they're made, first of all, they're made by Outbound, which I didn't realize Outbound did monitors. But the other
The
cool thing is
outrigger.
about these monitors,
Yeah.
yeah, is that these monitors, so it shows one hooked up to a one that's compatible with the Plus SE30 Classic 2, and of course I knew that they did some video cards for like the SE30, um, but I'm like, well, the Plus and the Classic 2, that would have been a little bit more problematic and probably expensive. And then I see that no, these are connected via SCSI. So all these monitors, and there's another ad elsewhere in the magazine that also is advertising. Different manufacturer is advertising a SCSI based monitor. So I
Huh.
just thought that was very interesting. So yeah, you could hook a nice full page. These are all full page monitors. So they're in portrait mode and SCSI based.
I was not aware. And
Very
they have
cool.
another SCSI port on the monitor, so you don't lose your
Yeah,
SCSI
you don't.
port.
Yeah, right, right.
Wow. Never knew those existed. Okay. Let's skip
Suggested
along.
retail price $949.
Yeah, like about $2,000. Page 131. Look at this in the trends section under the news. Apple and Sharp to make personal digital assistants. In a major alliance of industry heavyweights, Apple Computer and Sharp Corporation have agreed to co-develop a personal digital assistant (PDA) based on new Apple software and Sharp's hardware. Goes on, it says they formed separate product teams to work on the project, which is not expected to come to fruition until the beginning of 1993 at the earliest. The name, expected price, and other features were not described in the announcement. Dun dun dun. What is that? That's the first announcement of what would become the Newton Message Pad and Sharp's Expert Pad, as they called it, which was released the next year at the same time. But yeah, there it
Wow,
was.
but same software, right? It's using the Newton OS.
Yes.
Okay.
What's interesting, I guess what my Newton history isn't as sharp as it should be. But it says based on Sharp's hardware. So I wonder how much of the credit of the hardware goes to Sharp. They show credit to Apple, obviously, for the Newton OS. Neat.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's your earliest view of what's going on there. And on page 158, there it is, the Quadra 950 in all its glory. This, of course, is an upgrade to the 900. The 900 had been released just 7 months prior. They decided to pop a faster version of the Motorola 68040 into it.
For the
It's got
same
the
price.
Is that right? Same price.
As the 900, yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those things
Sorry.
that you always back then. I mean, it's like, do I buy a computer now or do I wait for the next one that's going to come out in less than a year that's going to be more powerful for the same price? I remember hesitating on buying computers for a long time because of this phenomenon.
Yeah. There was a time period. There was a while when you could go years and you wouldn't expect a new model, and then it became a year and then less than a year, and here it is. This is that time period. It's even less than a year. At least today, we're more back to a yearish, right? Is kind of where we are. But the 950. There's some. What would you get if you waited 7 months? And I think there's some benchmarks in here. You can see that it does things a tad faster with the faster processor.
Well, one of the things I want to mention on this is they talk about some of the different configurations, and they mention that there is a floppy only configuration available. And I just can't imagine
what now?
kind of floppy only. No hard drive. You could buy one with no hard drive, just floppy drives. And I'm like, how
How's that
difficult would that
possible?
be? Right.
Could you
Unless it
can't
was
even
for people who had a nice big external hard drive, perhaps,
uh-huh.
and we're going to save a couple $100 off their $8,000 price or $7,000 price for this. But right, yeah, floppy only.
If they say so if you were one of those poor souls that bought a 900 at the end of its life cycle, it says paying for the 950 upgrade will hurt. And I think they have a number here. Actually, they don't have the number. Yeah.
For the
But
upgrade,
there's an upgrade path. I think there might be, but anyway. All right, let's go to page 184. This is the OCR stuff you want to talk about. This is actually the larger.
Oh yeah, but I kind of mentioned it.
You
already,
kind of mentioned that,
yeah, right.
Yeah, we used to buy these very expensive packages, and of course, you had to have a scanner. Buy expensive scanner, spend over $1,000 of then your money, and then you buy an OCR program. Maybe it gets bundled with the scanner. Sometimes it does.
Yeah, it looks like Thunderware's Lightning Scan 400 came with Read It Personal version, Read It Pro, Logitech bundled Catchword Pro. So yeah, it looks like you probably got a pretty good price discount if it was bundled with a scanner.
Mm-hmm. And like many other things that they've got sucked up into our iPhone, right? That's just another one that we enjoy. Okay, and we'll end on this one. I don't remember this thing coming out, but it looked awesome. Like they obviously they keyed in on the naming convention of something man, like the Walkman or the Disc Man. Mm-hmm. Here is the Photo Man, but it's not Sony. Sony, did they use the man convention for their cameras? They just know they had the Mavica line, but they didn't have. I bet they would have loved to have the Photo Man, but Logitech took it. The new Photo Man, the portable, affordable camera for your Mac. No more wasting time and money having film developed. Ooh, yeah, that sucks. The pocket-sized Photo Man shoots up to 32 pictures in a session and digitize them in 256 glorious shades of gray. Built-in rechargeable battery, automatic flash, outdoor filter. You can take shots anywhere. One-button operation. You pop them in your Mac. You use the modem or printer port. And all yours for just $799. Or, about close to almost $2,000 today. So I thought, well, that's kind of cool. Do you see it has a little docking station too?
Yeah, yeah. So that's gonna connect.
So you charge it there,
nice and easy. Probably charge it and also connect it to your serial port. For transferring. Yeah,
that's pretty. I like the ergonomics really with the little little grooves there in the front. It's a slick looking camera, the Photo Man.
Yeah, I love the fact, of course, it doesn't have it doesn't look like it has an LCD screen or any sort of screen on it at all. It's got your standard you look through the little fake viewfinder thing.
You got an approximation of what you're going to take a picture of.
But yes, it really does look like it would be pretty comfortable to use with just the single button on the front. Camera, it kind of positioned vertically versus horizontally. I like it.
Yeah, I always liked Logitech products. A lot of their mouse products, especially the TrackMan, the Mouse Man that Trina mentions. Always enjoy it. So I was caught by surprise that I never saw this one. Probably wasn't around very long. And you can find them on eBay. They're kind of pricey. $200-$300 to get one of these if you want to try it out. Anyway,
nice,
cool little camera. All right, I think that's about it for July 1992.
So Charks here found a higher quality version of that ad with Woz. When I designed the Apple II, it was like all of a sudden I had this tool that very few people in the world had. That is fantastic. And then Trina mentions that there was the Mouse Man back in the day. So yeah, Garth also
Yeah, they
mentions
use the
that.
man. Mhm.
So they used it for that.
Where's the full? Oh, send us a link. Is it online someplace? The full version of that that article that Woz wrote.
Another
I'd like to see the
something
whole.
else. Oh yeah, Garth also mentioned that he thinks that the that SCSI display thing can be emulated with the RASCSI.
Oh,
So are you?
wow.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. I mean, does that mean that it's using the video output and it's using the software on the? I'm assuming that there would have been some sort of software that came bundled with those monitors to get it to output to them. I have to look into that. That would be kind of cool to try. Very neat. Very neat stuff,
Okay.
guys. Appreciate the inputs on this.
Let's I'm going to switch to news. Okay, you ready? Let's go in.
Yeah, all
Oh,
set.
wait, I didn't want to start that just yet. Let's back it up. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's time for the news. We'll begin with I'll play a little bit of this clip. It's on YouTube, published by Jaromaz. Forgive me the pronunciation. Macintosh Pi, Mac OS 789 plus Commodore for Raspberry Pi. So, are you aware of this project?
I have not seen this one. No.
Macintosh Pi is my small project that allows running full screen versions of Apple Mac OS 7, 8, and 9 with audio, active online connection, and modem emulation under Raspberry Pi. All that without the window manager and entirely from the CLI Raspberry Pi OS Lite level. Installation is very simple. A simple single script to build a clean version, and all 3 operating systems will be available immediately. And so he's got this little video on YouTube, which has it's a classic too, but it's been modded with a Raspberry Pi, a color screen, and then it flips through different emulators running, and it shows what's actually running. So here's he's saying that this is representative of 5500, or here's a 520 running Mac OS 7. So you got good performance running games.
Love the virtual
sound.
modem. Was not familiar with that. That is great.
Yeah, and just kind of flipping through all these different emulators. Running different software packages. So yeah, and so all the details of this are provided over on GitHub because it's all ever freely available. Where their instructions are also details on what's behind this particular Mac.
Yeah, definitely checking
the
this
screen. Out. That's a nice screen for putting your compact Mac, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, so
perfect.
I have a Retina display. Mac Effects. I've got one of the green cases that, and I was playing. I've got a Retina display from a iPad and the controller board to make it HDMI, and it should fit really well once I kind of flatten out the bezel. And so I was going to be doing something similar with that green case. And so yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking a look at his setup here, his software.
Yeah. So over here, you look under JAROMAZ with the description of the project, and then all the files are listed there, links to the YouTube video. Yeah, I think this is pretty cool, and it shows now. Obviously, it's running well-known emulators, but the idea here is there's not an additional layer. They're trying to run it closest to the hardware as possible to get the best performance. So,
yeah.
So it is running Basilisk 2 and some other stuff there, and then these virtual modems, and so yeah, pretty awesome stuff. So check that out over on GitHub. Of course, we'll post the links. And then also in the news, more glorious
Another Dana
Nanoraptor products. Look at this one. This is like what is that? An OS? What OS would that be? Like an 8? An OS 8. It's these Mac OS based telephone, and it looks like it has a little camera there too, so you can do video calls. And not sure how you. It's got to be touchscreen, right? Because there's no mouse there. So that's really sweet. I like it's got have a Newton color about it. Then there's this one, the PowerBook G4 Titanium W. Why is it called the W? And it's got this weird folding screen. I guess it's so the whole thing collapses
folds
in
up
this
into
thin
right.
strip
Yeah, very
thing.
thin.
Yeah, so the two screens there, two wide screens that fold on each other.
I
This is
just
an
love the
old.
fact that Dana still has the damage from the wrists from your
Yeah,
palms resting on the white paint.
right.
That is common on the tie books.
I like these pictures the best, the ones that are actually in the wild pictures of
Yeah. It
hardware
looks
that
like
have
it's
use.
just right. Found somewhere. Love it.
And we'll wrap it up. I remember this one before. I think this one is a repost. I could be wrong.
Is it like a modular?
Is it modular? This is the greatest thing ever. This one, somebody needs to actually do this. It probably should be me, since I think I have all these parts. Some of these are a little different, but well,
It looks like somebody put a stack of Macintoshes on a transporter pad, and it had an accident.
well, the
Kind
title
of a
says Apple.
Brendel fly situation.
Yeah, it says Apple's late '90s partnership with David Cronenberg was short-lived and painful. So,
There you go.
well, you tell me what the reference is, since it's lost.
Well,
who's David Cronenberg?
he all right.
Okay,
He did.
all right.
Was it Naked Lunch?
That doesn't even help.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, but it makes sense somehow.
Disregard.
So you don't.
I think I'm catching the reference, but I can't explain the reference. Okay, it's one of those things.
Oh. Okay. Well, it's like a Frankenstein's monster of Macs.
Yeah, he did the
like
fly.
elements.
Cronenberg did the fly.
Oh, got it.
So
it's like
yeah,
you try to
yeah.
transport a
right.
I don't know,
a bunch of Macs sitting on a transporter pad.
Yeah, simultaneously tried to teleport a Mac, and then some, like you try to teleport maybe a Mac 2, and for some reason there was a 7100 sitting in the corner that you forgot about, and maybe a 6400, and maybe parts of a Performa 6836 or whatever that is. But it's I think it's great.
Yeah,
I think he needs another monitor though, maybe on it. I think that would be good. Anyway, good job, Dana. That's on twitter.com/nanoraptor.
Yes, Garth mentioned they also directed Naked Lunch. Yeah.
Okay, but the fly is what we're going for, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Brendel fly. This is like
right,
Brendel
exactly.
Mac.
Yeah. I knew Cronenberg was involved with it, but I couldn't remember if it was
Brendel
something
Mac.
he I also like Apple's Anonymous mentioned that I left my beige Macs in the backseat of my car on a hot day, and this is what I got. So yes. Very good, guys.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to the outro in 3, 2, 1. During the break, it was. Did we figure it out while we were recording that Cronenberg was behind the fly, and
Right.
Yeah, I think we did say
still
that.
recording.
Oh, we just talked
Mhm.
about it more. All right. Anyway.
I think. I don't know.
I don't remember. All right. Well, next week, I'm going to be off for a little bit, but John might do the show. Have you decided?
Maybe. Yeah. I'll see. I'll have
Maybe.
to see if maybe I can get Steve to come on and do a co-host with me. Yeah, because you're going to be gone for 2 weeks. You said
Yes.
2 weekends. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Maybe we
right
can,
now, John
plug-
is tentatively promising to be here next week
Yes.
to bring you another.
What we will
episode.
talk about, I don't know. Who I will be talking with, I don't know. But
Well, one
yeah,
of the
that's gonna be the plan.
suggestions was, and I think that's been announced, that
Oh,
Steve has
that's right.
taken
Yes.
on editor duties for
Yes.
David Grealish's Lisa documentary.
And that's one of the things I had been hoping to talk to David Grealish this weekend, because I'm sure he will be at the Vintage Computer Festival, since he is Atlanta-based.
Well, maybe you can
But
get
yes, yeah,
get
maybe
them
we'll see
together
if we can
next
get the
week.
both of them, or if not, just one or the other, perhaps. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you remembered
All
that.
right. I'm glad too. Well, take it easy.
Yeah.
Take a lesson from Shelley there.
Shelby.
And
My
Shelby. Shelley.
Yeah.
Shelley would have been a better name just because it's even dumber than Shelby. Yes, from Shelby. Take a lesson from Shelby.
Take it slow.
That's right.
That's right. And eat lots of bugs. Wait, no, let's not do that.
Well, all right. Until next week, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Okay. Oh, he directed The Fly. Yes. How about The Fly
and
2?
again, I knew Cronenberg was, but I couldn't remember in what aspect he was involved.
Has anybody noticed?
They reference Cronenberg also on several episodes of Rick and Morty.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've got a new lighting effect. It's not that evident, but it's happening.
It's nice. I like it. So you've got is that behind your classic or your Macintosh? Is it right behind it?
Right behind it there.
Nice.
You can see their little black wall sconces, and there's 4 of them. And I thought they'd be bigger and brighter, and I was going to spread them out throughout the display. But they weren't. They were smaller, and the cable lengths weren't as long. So I just put them right there. So yeah.
So they? I can't quite tell. So are they against the wall then, or are they like?
Yes, they're just sitting on that shelf there, just sitting behind.
Okay. They're it's nice. They're very out of the way, but they do a great job of just adding that splash of color back there. Very nice.
Yeah, they would show more prominently if there were less light back there, because then thuld stand out more. But if I had less light, then you would
hard to see.
It'd be so it's kind of a balance of kind of just a little dancing.
I know, I like it very
color
much.
There, yeah. Once you see it, though, it's kind of mesmerizing. You just see it like, oh,
yeah,
yes.
So we know what James is doing after the podcast. He's just going to turn around and zone out watching his wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks. Charks noticed, so thank you for that. Yes. All right. Okay. Well, we didn't get any cat visits. I was hoping for a cat visit.
Usually, if I'm on a Zoom call of any sort, they're all over the place because they just somehow know. So yes, and you saw one of the cats earlier, so
I did during our rehearsal. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
We had to restart the rehearsal.
Cat on set.
We wasted 3 hours.
Yeah, we do the whole show several times. That's how we get this so seamless.
That's why it's so tight.
That's right.
Yeah, it doesn't come.
Any flubs or anything, those are all in the script, people. Yeah.
That's why it comes off so naturally, because it's rehearsed. Okay. Well, we'll let everybody go hope you have a great Sunday morning. And John, I'll see you in a few weeks.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and I'll see everybody else then too. So why don't we roll out
Bye, everyone.
like we normally do?
Thanks for listening to the RetroMacCast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.